I told you I'm coming for you, I'm coming through you, either way, it don't matter. So clear the space like
Welcome to another episode of Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, Bird Gang 31.
Hey, why they so mad at you? A cock to the distance, no, I'm the raddest dude. Plus the flow is on point and it's tactical. Don't hate my goose, gon' get after you. Don't feel bad for that dude. Leaving behind, girl, that's what you had to do. Lord, say this is not something for you. It's the shit that got me going prehistoric. I'ma beat the people they been feeding for it. If you see the problems, I can ignore it. Dumping in the trenches, I've been bleeding for it. Go nuclear like you got nuke 'em. I rebuke 'em if they attack, then I juke 'em. Fuck 'em like Michael, I spook 'em. Hit 'em with the Kendrick. I'ma bring it to the pessimist. Hope you niggas get the message. This is it for the pessimist. Killing demons like an exorcist. Passive aggressive is over. This shit for the soldiers and all of the warriors. Know that the battle is glorious. Until my whole team is victorious, bitch, I'm a monster. Bitch, I'm a monster. I'm saying, bitch, I'm a monster. If I snuck up in the bedroom and touch you while you sleep, oh, it's me, yeah. I'm fucking with you, I ain't gonna get you out of this track. TCJ Mason. Niggas can't believe what I'm doing. I'm a man like a cat hoeing 9 lives. Summer 18, excreasing the 9, 10 times. Sending these cats lost, but I'm staying hard.
Welcome to another edition of Late Night with Bird Gang. I'm your host, Bird Gang 31 in the building. And I brought my boy, my Niner boy in the building, Mr. J in the Bay. What's good, my nigga?
I gotta say, faithful Niner Empire and Eagles fans, what's good? It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. And it's a pleasure to be on with you, Bird Gang 31. Always a pleasure to be on with you. And congrats, first and foremost, to you and your channel with you having 2 channels, man. You grinding, putting in that work. I think you got over 470,000 views on this channel alone. So, man, people are seeing your hard work, and it's good to see you grow, man. And thanks for having me on.
Man. Salute to you, my brother. You know what I'm saying? You definitely do your thing over there in Niner Nation, man. I see you growing. I seen that merch. The what's good? You know, like I love it. That's the best part when I be watching your streams, man. But what's good? I'll be waiting for that. What's good?
Appreciate
definitely got your own brand over there, man. So how you been, man? It's been a minute. I think it was since last year, Niner game, since I had you on this channel. You know what I'm saying? We did our work together. You know, we definitely been trying to get into it. You know, life happens. You know, careers happen, and we also got family. So that's kind of definitely been in the way. But I'm happy I'm able to get you on the platform, and we can talk some NFC football. You know, because this year, man, I think the NFC is not as strong as it's been in previous years. So first off, talk about your Niners a little bit. Let me know how you feeling about the way the season ended last year, all the way up to the draft to moving into training camp here. How's it been over there in Ninerville?
Absolutely. First, I gotta say what's good to Mrs. Bird Gang 31. Shout out to you. The 49ers ended their season. We ended our season last year in the NFC Championship game against the division rival LA Rams. LA Rams were the better team, and they ended up, of course, winning the Super Bowl. We went pretty far into the playoffs. We didn't reach number 6. We're still after title number 6. And I think we had a pretty good offseason. I think we're transitioning now from the Jimmy G era to the Trey Lance era. Jimmy G, 2 out of 4 seasons when he was healthy. We had 2 NFC Championship appearances. We had 1 Super Bowl appearance. So, the fan base is divided. Some people still want Jimmy G to be the starter. A lot of people want Trey Lance. A lot of people felt Trey Lance should have started last year. But I appreciate what Jimmy G has done for this team. 2 years prior to Jimmy G coming to the 49ers, we had Chip Kelly, we had Jim Tomsula, and those were not successful seasons. When Jimmy G was healthy, he brought relevance to this team. I should say we were relevant when Jimmy G was healthy. And I appreciate what he's done for this team, but the writing's on the wall. Jimmy G most likely will not be on this roster come week 1. And we're not going to pay a $24 million backup. That's not going to happen. So This offseason is all about Trey Lance and building a supporting cast around him so that he'll be successful. I wish the Niners and Eagles could play this year because you got two.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be a great matchup. I think the Niners will win for sure. But
I
I
bet
think,
you do. That's straight cap, my brother.
But
That's straight cap.
both teams are very talented. Both teams got good defenses, good offenses, and they have, young quarterbacks. Now, your guy, Jalen Hurts, he's got, 1 year under his belt as a starter, and Trey Lance, he's going to get that 1 year this season. So it'd be very interesting to see how Trey Lance's season will be. I think this team, though, is built defensively first. You talk about the defensive line. You talk about Nick Bosa, one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. You got Fred Warner leading our linebackers. Our weakness last year on defense was the secondary. I mean, we had Josh Norman starting at the cornerback position, but we picked up a free agent acquisition in Charvarius Ward. He's a corner from the Kansas City Chiefs. He played in big games. You team him up with Charvarius Ward and Emmanuel Mosley. Emmanuel Mosley is coming into a contract year. So, players coming into a contract year, they want to put out the best film. They want to ball out. So we're definitely looking forward to that tandem. And I think this defense, this team, like I said before, is led by the defense. And then the next thing is the running game. Kyle Shanahan loves to run the ball. So Trey Lance will not be throwing the ball 40 to 50 times. Now, but what Trey Lance does offer is the deep threat. And that's something that Jimmy G rarely did with this offense. So it really helped the defense. All they had to do was cover, from the line of scrimmage to about 10 to 15 yards down the field. With Trey Lance, you got to cover the whole field, baby, because he's got a rocket. He could throw it deep. We've seen that in training camp so far this year. Him and Brandon Ayuk, they have a good rapport with each other. And of course, we got one of the best receivers in the NFL. We got Debo.
Oh,
So
hey,
man,
hey.
I can't wait. George Kittle, best tight end in the NFL. I mean, come on, man. Weapons galore.
I don't know about the best. He's one of the best. We got a guy named Goddard looking to take over that spot this year. But hey, man, Debo for real is the truth. When they were talking all that, I know Eagles fans were just clamoring at the bit, like, go ahead and let him go. Go ahead, I dare you. Let him go. Let him go, because I would love to have a Debo Samuels on my roster. I'm pretty sure all 31 other teams would have loved the Niners to make that mistake and let a talent like that walk out the building. You know what I'm saying? And luckily for you guys, it did not happen. How do you feel about that whole situation? What was your take on it? Did you always knew that he would stand, he wasn't going nowhere, or were you one of those guys a little bit worried that maybe he would be leaving, and then what kind of effect that could happen for your team?
The 49ers don't get better by getting rid of their best offensive weapon. It makes no sense. I didn't think the 49ers would trade Debo under any circumstance. It just makes no sense. The 49ers could have played hardball with Debo. We didn't really have to sign him to an extension this offseason. He still had 1 year left on his contract, but the 49ers rewarded Debo for having an all-pro season at the wide receiver position. We know he can run the ball. He can catch the ball. He was right behind Cooper Kupp in the receiving stats category this past offseason. I think Debo Samuel got some advice from his agent. I think it was bad advice, but hey, someone once said the squeaky wheel gets the oil, and I think that's what Debo Samuel wanted to do. He took off all his 49er stuff on his social media. He did say he wanted to request a trade, but Debo Samuel has never been in this situation before. He has the opportunity to get generational wealth, and he did what he thought was in his best interest, and that was basically to say, hey, I'm unhappy, trade me or sign me to a lucrative contract extension. And fortunately, both sides were able to come together, and Debo Samuel will be a 49er for at least the next 4 years. He'll be a free agent once he turns 29, and then he'll be able to strike another deal, hopefully with the 49ers. So, I didn't like his antics, but I understand the business side of it, and that's the ugly side of the NFL. Debo's just trying to work his leverage to his advantage. I didn't really think he had leverage because, the Niners, we didn't have to sign him. But I think you want Debo to be happy. He's the best offensive player on the field. He's going to make Trey Lance's job a whole lot easier, and he makes this offense go. The same way this 49ers defense is led by, one of the most underrated safeties in the NFL, Jimmy Ward, best linebacker in the NFL, Fred Warner. They bring an attitude to the defense, and Debo does the same on the offensive side of the ball. He brings an attitude to this offense that no other wide receiver in the NFL does. I mean, corners don't want to tackle Debo. Let's just be real.
Fact.
They don't want to tackle Debo. So he brings that tenacity. He brings that vigor. He brings that attitude that this offense needs, no doubt.
I know a big question is, do you want to see Debo continue to be that guy? That's what makes Debo that dual threat. He's a running back. He's a receiver. He's whatever you want Debo to be. Like, do you like that style of play by him? Do you think that getting paid now, they're going to try to just focus on him being a receiver? Do you think they should take that away? It's kind of like having a dual threat quarterback like Jalen Hurts. You want him to pass more, obviously, but do you really want to take away that running? Do you really want to take the run game out of that? Because that is what makes him dynamic.
Right.
That's what makes him hard to stop. That's what, his leverage is on the rest of the teams out there, is to be able to be that dual threat. So you're unsure which one he's going to tear you up with. Do you want to see that part of Debo's game taken out a little bit, or do you think they're going to keep rocking with it?
As you said, that's part of Debo's dynamic. That's part of what's good, CG. That's part of what makes Debo so dynamic, is the ability to run the ball. And let's face it, he played running back last year out of necessity. Basically every running back on the depth chart got hurt at one point in the season, and Kyle Shanahan made the decision. He called the code red, and he said, "Hey, we need Debo to run the ball." I don't want him to run the ball really like that in the regular season, but come playoff time, you got to pull out all the stops. You got to do whatever you can do to win the game. And Debo Samuel, he understands that. That was a big issue this offseason. Well, Debo doesn't want to be a wide back anymore, or Debo's concerned about, his career and his longevity. Now that he got paid, he said, "Hey, it doesn't matter. I want to win. I want to win Super Bowls. I want to bring a quest for 6 to the 49ers. So Debo Samuel is willing to do whatever it takes. And I definitely respect that. I don't want to see him really run the ball, like I said, in the regular season, but once the playoffs come, we can definitely see that. And the 49ers made some acquisitions this offseason so that Debo Samuel won't have to run the ball in the regular season if our guys stay healthy. We drafted TDP this year in the 3rd round, Ty Davis Price out of LSU. He's a big bruising type running back. He will run you over, and he's got speed as well. We also have Trey Sermon, who we drafted the previous year. We're going to have at least 4 to 5 running backs on this depth chart come game day. So Debo Samuel won't have to run the ball the way he did last year.
More like special occasions, right?
Exactly, special occasions, man. Because does he really need to run the ball? Week 5 against whoever we're playing. I mean, if our running backs are healthy, we won't need him to do that. But like you said, special occasions, playoffs, I think it's game. Anything can happen. And Debo got paid. So hey, he's compensated well, $58 million guaranteed. I believe that was the most any receiver got this offseason, I believe. So hey, man, he's paid, and he's going to hit
worth it
once he hits 29.
Then he's worth the number 1 money spot.
Exactly.
He said Debo will do whatever the money brings.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think it was. I think he doesn't really mind. I think Debo knows he's a football player.
Right.
Sometimes you got good positional players and just good football players. I think Debo's a good football player in general.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? He's a game changer. So, of course, he's going to say he's not going to want to run the ball. Debo don't care how he gets the ball. You give him to him anyway. You can hand it to him, toss it to him, flip it to him, whatever. Just get him the ball. That's the kind of guy he is. And I think, now that he's paid, he's definitely not caring about how he gets the ball. He probably wants the ball even that much more now. So, he said, I heard about how he wants Quinnen Williams. Is he on your team?
No. I think he's on the. Is he on the Jets or Giants? One of the New York teams. Quinnen Williams?
Is that the D
tackle?
Scoop, tell me who you're talking about there, Scoop. Because
I think that's
I didn't figure out that name sounds familiar. I just can't put it.
I think he was drafted by the Jets. I think Quinnen Williams. I think.
So we added depth at the running back spot. Yeah,
we go 4 or 5.
Jordan Mason, sleeper. Who's Jordan Mason? Talk about
it. A UDFA. He is he's on the roster bubble. Shout out to Blue True.
Shout out to Blue True in the building. What's good?
Yeah, exactly.
What's
good? Appreciate that, Blue True. But yeah, Jordan Mason is a UDFA, undrafted free agent. He's got an outside shot to make the 53-man active roster. But, as I said on previous streams, I don't think it really matters who makes that active roster. Running backs are going to get hurt. And we've seen Kyle Shanahan. We've seen his dad, Mike Shanahan. They run through a lot of running backs. We don't have a Derrick Henry
They
type
make star running backs. They don't draft them. They make them.
Right, exactly.
They find them in the rough.
Exactly. Behind the scheme, like our leading rusher last year was Elijah Mitchell. He was a 6th-round draft pick last year. So we're going to have 4 to 5 running backs. One of them will get stashed on the practice squad, but I think eventually one of them will come on the active roster because, injuries are a part of the game. It'll happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And shout out to you for that $5 super set, Blue True. He says, I expect Sermon to ball out. How you feel about Trey Sermon?
Trey Sermon was a 3rd-round pick last year to a lot of 49ers surprise because, the 49ers, we don't really need to draft running backs early in the draft. As we saw last year by getting Elijah Mitchell, who turned out to be better than Trey Sermon. Elijah Mitchell, 6th-round draft pick, almost had 1,000 yards rushing. He only played in 11 games because, he had several injuries throughout the season, but
he was out last year.
Yeah, Trey Sermon, unfortunately, he got hurt early, and I think he fell out of favor with Kyle Shanahan. And once you're in that doghouse, it's pretty hard to get out. Especially when a lot of our running backs got hurt. Shout out to the Familiar Sports Report. A lot of our running backs got hurt, and Trey Sermon didn't really get the nod to get in, so to get into the game. So Trey Sermon, he's got an uphill battle in training camp so far. He was a 3rd-round pick, but I still think he's going to make this active roster, and hopefully, he'll be able to follow whatever Shanahan wants him to do in the running game and his running style. Hopefully, Trey Sermon will be able to ball out. I don't know if he'll be able to ball out. I don't know. I don't want to put those type of expectations on him, but hopefully he can contribute in some way because we do have a crowded running back room. That's for sure.
Do you think Mitchell gonna ball out this year?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Say Jay, let's collab soon. Yeah, man, you got to get up on there, man. That'd be tight.
We'll talk CG for sure.
He said, "What's Cal saying? Trey finger didn't heal right, so we need to have change his grip." Wow, Cal was and Murph and Max show saying this.
Yeah,
what's up with Trey? He hurt?
Trey had a broken finger last year, and it didn't heal right, so he did have to change his grip on the ball. But I don't think it's going to affect him throwing. I mean, the one thing I would say about Trey is obviously he can throw the deep ball. That's one dimension that he's going to add to this offense. He can also run the ball as well with read options and things like that. But I think one area he needs to improve is his short throwing accuracy. Sometimes it seems like he's got a fastball 100% of the time. And sometimes he needs to know, hey, I need to take a little bit off this throw if it's just a 5-yard out route. I don't need to throw a 5-yard out route like I'm throwing a 20-yard post route. You can, but he's a young guy, and it's going to take time for him to learn that. And I think Trey Lance, who we see in week 1, is going to be much different than who we see in week 8. I think Trey Lance will continue to improve. And I think that's what's most important on this season.
Are you scared at all? Trey comes from North Dakota State, and the Philadelphia Eagles know about North Dakota, and Carson Wentz. So are you worried that he might take, a fall, being from the smaller school, having so much success at an early age, being in a division of football that you can pretty much do whatever you want in? You know what I'm saying? We see that with Carson, that he wasn't mentally strong for a city like Philadelphia. I know Niner fans get a little tense over there too. Are you worried about the talent level? Him not be able to ever reach his goal.
Not at all.
Be that
not
elite
at all.
quarterback.
No, we're not scared at all. And I think the deal with with Carson Wentz was there's no doubt that he's a talented player. He can throw the ball, but he just doesn't have that leadership factor. And I would say that, Trey Lance's number one attribute, or one of his best attributes, is he's a leader. He takes accountability. And that's something that number 10 on this roster sometimes failed to do. So if there's a bad throw, if there's a bad play, Trey Lance will say, oh, I need to get better. He doesn't blame anyone else. He doesn't say we need to get better. He says, I need to get better. And that's great for a guy, so young as him, and being a second-year starter in this league. Well, second year in the league, first-year starter. But that's something great that Trey Lance has, is that he's got accountability already, and he's got leadership. All his guys believe in him, and we're not worried about Trey Lance carrying the team. I don't think he'll need to do that. Shout out to I am Tay Slay, Niner gang.
Hey, that little brother in the building. How you doing, big dog? He is a Niner fan.
Hey,
I try to
coming
convert him
in.
because he's a little pup. He was like a little pup watching me and his brother. You know, I tried to convert him to Eagles fan. He said no.
He like that red and gold, man. He like that.
We
red
from
and
Cali though. He's like most Cali people like the Niners,
Oh, yeah.
Chargers, Oakland.
No
You
doubt.
know,
And I'll say this about Trey, that we're not relying on him to throw the ball 40 to 50 times. We're going to rely on this stout defense that we have. We're going to rely on running game. And, you know, I think Trey will have to perfect the short passing game, but I think his positives, his pros definitely outweigh, you know, him not having experience yet. And we'll see that, you know, when the season starts.
so this season's gonna be very interesting. Played 17 games in college and 1.5 games in NFL. Gonna be interesting in Santa Clara. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Like, do you think, cause like what they do with him last year? Wasn't it like, to me? I kind of see like he's having the same approach as Jalen Hurts. The first year we had Carson, right? So Jalen come in, do some spot work, and basically the first 5 weeks just run the ball. You know, he only came in to be that running quarterback. That's it. Got him back out of there. You know what I'm saying? Threw a couple passes here and there at the end of the season when Carson totally bombed out. He came in and finished off the last 4 games of the season. Like, and then he had his next year where he got to be the starter. I think he missed like 2 games last year. Do you think that Lance can do it for full season? Because I remember seeing him play a little bit last year. He had some good moments. He had some bad moments.
Yeah.
Right. How do you feel about that? Like the little action that he did get last year. You know, how do you feel about that moving forward? Or do you think that the Niners should just go ahead and let Jimmy G start this year?
No way.
I know everybody go #1 draft pick. You can't keep him on the bench, right?
Right.
Remember Aaron Rodgers, though. Aaron Rodgers was one of the best quarterbacks ever. He sat on the bench for a minute.
Yeah, but I think those days are long gone. This is not 20 years ago. You look at Justin Herbert, even though what's good, Libby's World. Thanks for tuning in. You know, you had Justin Herbert start, even though it was a fluke that he got the starting job. But I think rookie quarterbacks now, you look at Zach Wilson, you look at Mac Jones, Justin Fields. Those days are long gone where especially #1 draft picks or round 1 draft picks sit for multiple years. You got to remember, though, Aaron Rodgers taking over. I mean, there was a legend in front of him in Brett Favre. There is no legend in front of Trey Lance. Jimmy G is not
Jimmy G's a legend. Jimmy G's a legend.
Jimmy G is not.
You know what it is? Like, don't even hate on Jimmy G like that, because I got Niner friends. They're like, Jimmy G doesn't lose games. It doesn't matter what he puts up. He doesn't lose games. Jimmy G's that
Here's
dude.
the thing about Jimmy. Jimmy
don't lose.
Jimmy is an above average quarterback at his best, but he's not a franchise quarterback because we can't rely on him to stay healthy. He's had a torn ACL. He's also had a sprained ankle. So you can't depend on him to be healthy. He's only been healthy 2 out of 4 years. That's not a franchise quarterback. And also, it's the plays that Jimmy G leaves on the field. It's the downfield throws that he doesn't make. And he'll make the short throws. He's good with his quick release. He can read defenses, but he also turns the ball over a lot as well. In his best season with us, he did have 13 interceptions. I think he had like 5 fumbles. So Jimmy G, when he's surrounded by a team that can run the ball, that's got a great defense, maybe the Cleveland Browns. I don't know if any Cleveland Browns management are listening. But hey, come get you Jimmy G, because Deshaun getting suspended for a minute. So come get you Jimmy G. He can hand the ball off. You got 2 running backs that are pretty good out there in Cleveland. He can hand the ball off 35 to 40 times, and then he'll pepper in about 15 to 20 throws. And I think he's a solid quarterback, but the decision was made to move on once we traded up to draft for Trey Lance with the #3 overall pick. The decision was already made. And I think, like I'll say it again, Trey Lance will bring, the deep field throwing. And also I think just his big plays, he'll be able to make big plays downfield that Jimmy G wouldn't even think about throwing. And that's definitely going to test defenses. It's going to make defenses' jobs much harder. And I think that's what Trey Lance is going to bring to the offense. But to answer your question, no, we're not afraid. We're not scared. We're ready. Most of the Niner Empire are ready for Trey Lance to start, and we know there's going to be some hiccups. We know.
Is he a dual threat?
Absolutely, he's a dual threat. But Kyle Shanahan has said that he wants him to throw from the pocket, and that's what Trey Lance does. He does throw from the pocket, but he's got wheels too. He can escape the pocket. And it's not even about, he's not a Lamar Jackson, he's not a Michael Vick, he doesn't have wheels like that, but he can maneuver in and out of the pocket to allow his receivers to the extra second that a receiver needs to get open, and he can deliver it accurately to whichever wide receivers out there. So we're definitely looking forward to Trey Lance coming into this this 49er organization and elevating the entire franchise. And I can't wait for week 1 against Chicago. Looking forward to it.
We got a question for you. CG says, what do you think about Ray McLeod, Jay?
So Ray was a free agent we picked up this offseason. He seems like a gadget wide receiver type player with the Steelers. I believe he was a special teams guy. He was a punt returner. I think he'll be doing that with the 49ers as well. I don't see him being a starter on this offense. I think the 3 wide receivers I think are pretty set, but I like that we made the move because he can do things. He can do the jet sweeps. He can do the end arounds. Maybe he can take some of that away from Deebo Samuel. And I think that'll help Deebo Samuel's longevity. What's good, Grandizer? Thanks for tuning in, man. I like the move because we're giving Trey Lance more weapons. And what's wrong with that? That's always a good thing.
Who's the better receiver, Deebo or Ayuk? Like pure receiver.
Pure receiver. It's the Ayuk show. Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, he's the better pure receiver. Ayuk and Trey Lance have been working out this entire offseason. They've got a good rapport together. And they've been able, I think Ayuk has been the most targeted receiver in training camp so far by Trey Lance, and he also has the most catches. So I expect Brandon Ayuk to have a pretty good year, probably a career year with Trey Lance. And we're looking forward to Deebo Samuel, creating that chemistry with Trey Lance, but I think that'll come.
Okay, I guess we'll start here. Before we get into the whole Eagles, Niners, who do you think is better type, breakdown. We're gonna start in your own division. Niners last year, where were you guys placed at? You guys were number 1 in division or number 2 in the division, right?
I think we were second. Second.
Second in division. Now that division lost Russ, re-signed Kyler. What do you think the Niners stand this year in the NFC West?
I would say I think Seattle's going to take a step back this year, especially if they're That's true. That's true. Jimmy G is a great game manager when healthy. Absolutely. I would say Seattle takes a step back, especially if they stand pat with their quarterback situation with Geno Smith and Drew Lock. I think they could be trying to get the best draft pick for next year, especially if they keep one of those 2 quarterbacks as their starter. So I don't think Seattle would really be an issue. And I know the 49ers have struggled mightily against Seattle, but that was when Russell Wilson was under center. So I don't really expect those same problems. Arizona, I think DeAndre Hopkins is suspended for the first 6 games of the season, but the Niners, I don't think we play them until like week 8 or week 9. So D-Hop will most likely be back. That's pretty funny, Romelia. That's funny.
A good one right there.
But Arizona's very talented. Kyler Murray's a good quarterback, but for whatever reason, maybe he's not, studying enough. Maybe he's staying up too late on a school night. I don't know what it is. But Kyler Murray, he tends to struggle at the back end of the season. I know there's been years where he's been hurt. I know D-Hop has been hurt the past few seasons, so that doesn't help. But Arizona, they did, they still got JJ Watt. They have some really fast linebackers. They also added some edge rushers in the draft. So there's no doubt they're a talented team, the Arizona Cardinals. And then of course you got the LA Rams. They added Allen Robinson, they added Bobby Wagner. So those are their 2 biggest acquisitions, but they did lose a lot of players. The big left tackle, I think what's his name? His name is escaping.
Von Miller.
They lost Von Miller too. Yeah,
that's huge. You don't realize how huge that was. Like Von Miller going there last year, that's still the deal for real. Like Von Miller, OBJ, when they signed towards the trading deadline, they were over there, man. That was it. Like I knew that team was winning the Super Bowl. I knew it. Of course I wanted to cheer for my team to win a Super Bowl. But I knew like how do you beat a team that good?
Yeah.
Like that you got some ballers. You just added. You didn't just add just anybody. You added OBJ, who balled out and would have been Super Bowl MVP if he didn't get
But
hurt.
he got hurt.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. They could not stop him. You know, you thought Cooper Kupp was good, but OBJ was lighting them up at that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, and then Von Miller to add with Aaron Donald and the rest of those bunch of defensive linemen they had over there and linebackers, man, that was too much. That was too much.
Yeah. No, I agree. But I think it's going to come down. I think it's going to be between the Rams, the Cardinals, and the Niners. I think, you know, Matt Stafford, he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's obviously much more experienced than Trey Lance. I think the Rams, obviously at the quarterback position, have a slight edge. But I like my Niners overall. And I think we'll compete for, you know, the division crown this season for sure.
Division champions, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you can bring him back some talent. I can see it happening. Let's open it up. Let's find out, just for Eagles fans' sake, how you feel about the Philadelphia Eagles and the moves we made this offseason. You know, because I'm pumped.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the hugest Jay Hurts fan. I'm the hugest Eagle fan. I'm telling you, Super Bowl bell is ringing. Jalen Hurts gonna bring it. You know what I'm saying?
The Eagles brought in a lot of talent. The Eagles brought in a lot of talent this offseason, especially trading for wide receiver AJ Brown. That was a huge move. Because that's kind of been one of the Eagles' issues. They've been drafting first round wide receivers. They haven't really panned out. It kind of ended last year with Devontae Smith. He's a pretty good wide receiver. And yeah, you look all up and down your depth chart, especially on defense. You got a pretty stout defense. And when we played you guys, I don't think it was last year. It might have been in 2019 or.
We played you guys week 2 or 3 last year.
Last year, okay, so that was last year. Yeah, you guys played us pretty tough.
We should have won that game.
We barely won that game.
I hate to throw that out there, but we should have won that game. That was our game. We lost it. Y'all didn't beat us. We lost that game.
It was a back and forth game. I mean, it was down to which defense kind of played the best. But yeah, if I was an Eagles fan, I would be pumped. This is definitely one of the best top to bottom rosters that the Eagles have put together. So I'd be excited. What's good, Roberto? Thanks for tuning in tonight, man. So yeah, I would be excited if I was an Eagles fan.
So you look at the things, you got Russ leaving the division. Like we had a lot of talent leave the NFC.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's wide open. I do feel like even though the Rams are the champions, like you said, they lost a lot of pieces. They added some pieces, but they lost a lot of pieces. So I don't know if they're going to be as elite as they were last year. The Eagles, of course, I believe that we got this thing wrapped up. Signed, sealed, delivered before game 1 has even.
Yeah, y'all got that NFC East wrapped up. The NFC lease. Yeah, y'all got
No. Don't be come over hating on the NFC East or whatever you want to call it. We've been the number 1 division. We've been the worst division. That's what football, that's what time does to you. But I will say this, the NFC East is definitely going to be a lot better this year than they have been previous year. I will say that out there. I do think the whole division as a whole will be better. Yeah. It's always been either the Cowboys and Eagles, the Eagles and Washington, or Cowboys and Washington. There's like 2 teams that, and then the other team, 2 teams bring us down. But I think this year, we're gonna really ball out. You know what I'm saying? And I think the Eagles definitely are gonna be. I think the Eagles right now, to be honest, I don't even worry about the division anymore. I think we made enough moves this offseason to say forget the division. If you're just worried about the division, you're not watching it. You're not paying attention to football because the division's been done. I think that's a wrap. Now it's like, how good are we going to be? Are we going to be that Super Bowl championship team? Because I feel like we've done the same moves that Tampa Bay's done last year, or the Rams done last year, and Tampa Bay did the year before. We went out there, we got ballers. You know what I'm saying? We brought ballers to the squad, and whenever any team bring ballers to the squad lately, it seemed like they won a championship. So why can't we say the Eagles are that team?
I think the one question mark on the Eagles is the quarterback position. Jalen Hurts.
Is it?
I think so.
I think the outside media might think so, but I am 100% Hurts season. Jalen freaking Hurts all day, my God. Hey, like, listen, Jay. And I talk to Eagle fans all the time about this. Like, how are you guys even confused about the situation when you can only compare what the men have done, right?
Right.
You only can compare the games played. 20 games, right?
Right.
20 games of football. And Jalen Hurts is the first quarterback ever with 4,000 yards passing, 1,000 yards rushing. You know what I'm saying? Like the first ever. Number one fantasy quarterback. Backup Pro Bowl last year. First year, take your team to the playoffs. Winning record. Like, what are you worried about? You know, you can look at Josh Allen. You can look at Carson Wentz, Donovan McNabb, Michael Vick. You can go down a list of quarterbacks of the Eagles who we crowned, and they don't have Jalen Hurts numbers. So what is everybody even worried about? You know, Tom Brady first 20, no. Rodgers first 20, no. You know what I'm saying? Like the best in the game, first 20, no. Jalen Hurts is that guy. You know what I'm saying? Biggest leader, strongest motivator. You know what I'm saying? You know one thing for sure, he's out there working and busting his tail every single day to get it better. You know, he has no wife. He has no kids. You know what I'm saying? His dad's a coach. His only job is to play football. Yeah. And to even have any doubt on the guy like that, to me, is crazy. Like, he's already done enough. Like, of course we want to see him throw the ball better. Right. You know, but then you got to add, what happens if you had all the drops last year for Jalen Hurts, you know, all those drop passes, right, that were dropped last year. If you had all those touchdowns that were called back because a receiver did a mistake or, you know, or a legal block or something like that, this dude's MVP candidate last year as his first year start. So do I have any concerns about, you know, Jalen Hurts? No, definitely not. Like, he's going to ball out. His team got dramatically better, and it's going to be hard to stop the Philadelphia Eagles in 22.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, I agree. I'm just looking at your regular season last year, and the losses you guys have were pretty much against playoff teams. But I guess that for me, that's the only biggest question mark I see when I look at you guys' roster. You got wide receivers, you got backs, you got a pretty good O-line. The defense is stout. It's just, I guess, can Jalen Hurts take that next step? Can he be a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback? Can he improve his numbers
last year?
He was a Pro Bowl quarterback last year?
Alternate.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying, like, obviously, like, people be like, Bird can calm down all the time because, like, you think too highly of Jalen. I'm like, his first year starting. Like, it takes quarterbacks 3, 4, 5 years in the league before they understand concepts of defenses. Everybody last year in the playoffs, when you seen the clip from Tampa Bay, oh, he can't read defenses. I'm like, hello, you're Todd Bowles, one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. Right. If a first-year quarterback can read your defense, there's a problem. There's a problem. We had a defensive coordinator named Jim Johnson that anytime we played a first, second-year quarterback, we destroyed them on defense. You know, you got to look at the perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, against the best, you're not going to be the best. You know what I'm saying? But against the least, you're going to do a damn thing. And that's what he did all season long. So, you know, like, I'm not worried about Jalen one bit. I think Jalen's that dude. You know, he just brought his best friend in life. You know, this ain't no just, oh, you just brought a star receiver in. And people don't even give his friend enough credit to me. A.J. Brown. You know, no one calls A.J. a top 10 receiver. They say he's a Pro Bowl receiver. He's a good receiver. But no one will be like, oh, he's top 10. He's like one of the best in the league. Yeah, and it's hard to say because if you
borderline top 10.
I think he is way past top 10. He's the top 8 receiver.
Top 8?
You know why? Because if you look at those other ones ahead of him, they're on pass-happy offenses. You know what I'm saying? Like, they get hella targets all season. So they can drop some. You know, they can have a couple, 2, 3 yards here and there. He was in the offense that had Derrick freaking Henry. And I'm pretty sure both of us on the stage right now can say is the hands down best running back in the league right now.
Yeah.
And one of the only running backs in the league that gets 30, 40 carries a game. You know? Yeah. If you look at A.J. Brown's stats, like, they were like, oh, 3,000 yards in 3 seasons, 24 touchdowns, right?
Right.
But if you look at his targets, the fewest by far of any of the top receivers. Like, by far. It doesn't even come close. Like, he is hundreds of targets away from, you know.
Do you think that'll change in Philly? Because last year, you know, he played in 13 games. He had 105 targets, 63 catches, 5 touchdowns. You think he'll have more or less with Jalen Hurts at
I
quarterback
think it's going to be about on par.
on
But
par?
the reason why I think that number, the overall number of of yards will go up is because who are you going to stop, man? Who you going to stop? That's what I'm going to say. Devontae Smith was a rookie last year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he had 912, broke the rookie record, 912, 914 yards receiving for the Eagles, right? He broke the record in his first rookie year. The first half of the season, he couldn't get off press coverage. And then towards the middle, he was still struggling with the double teams. But at the end of the day, he was roasting starting cornerbacks in the NFL by himself, putting numbers up on starting cornerbacks in the NFL. Now you're telling this guy he has to go to number 2, right? Now he's on second corners and third corners, and AJ's getting the blunt of the carry.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to pick your poison, and then not to mention Quez Watkins, who was number 2 last year, 700 plus yards. He's going to number 3. Really? There's no, that's why I really think that's what people are really sleeping on. The fact that we still got Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders, Kenny Gainwell. We have so much weaponry on this offense. Like, who are you going to stop? And if you try to stop one person, you're screwed. You're screwed. You stop one, you go ahead and double, triple team AJ Brown because he starts out the game with a 25-yard reception, and then you back it up with another 15-yard reception. Like, oh no, AJ's gonna light us up this year. We gotta put all of our effort towards stopping AJ, right? Now you got Devontae Smith wide open every play. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're gonna just lock those 2 down. Let's lock them down. Boom, they're done. You know what I'm saying? We got 2 good corners, and not very many teams do have 2 good corners. Let me just throw that out there. Not very many teams got 2 Pro Bowl corners. A lot of the Eagles out there. You know what I'm saying? I like the Eagles out there. You know what I'm saying? And then you're going to have Quez Watkins. My hot take for the season was Quez is going to be a 1,000-yard receiver.
From the slot.
He had 7 last year, and now you're moving him to 3. Who's going to be guarding him? Your nickel cornerback, your linebacker, your freaking safety. Did you not hear the man when he told you he was the fastest man in the NFL?
So you're saying Quez finna eat. That's what you're saying. He's a Pro Bowl receiver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because not only is it just AJ and Smith, Dallas Goedert we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Dallas Goedert's a bona fide stud at tight end. He's been waiting for the day that now this Ertz completely out. Even last year, he had to wait 7 games before Ertz left.
Yeah.
Now he's full starting week 1, best tight end on the team without it, hands down. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to make – and he was still, 800 yards last year as the backup half the season? Going to definitely ball out. Now, you take AJ, Smitty, Goddard, Miles Sanders, and Jalen Hurts. That's 5 targets. 5 people that are a higher level of interest than Quez Watkins every single game. And he's the fastest man. He had 700 yards last year. And he's developing from year 2 to year 3 in the league. What makes you think he can't be that sleeper? That's my hot take. Sleeper pick. Quez Watkins might be the dude that everybody, you want to see AJ do it, obviously. But if you're doing your job and you're pulling the coverage you're supposed to pull, and Devontae's doing his job, he's pulling the coverage he's supposed to pull, and even somehow, some way, because I don't know how a defense can really cover 3 targets ahead of you. There's not teams aren't built that way. They got 1 good corner, 1 good safety. You know what I'm saying? Like corner safety, second corner. But no team's got starters that are like 3, 4 deeps in the secondary. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just don't happen no more in the NFL. So it's like, how are you going to stop all that weaponry before you even get to Quez? And Quez was balled out last year. So that's my sleeper guy. I think Quez might be our 1K receiver and less target. Like, I think Devontae probably get the most receptions. I think AJ might get the most touchdowns and most yak yards. And I think Quez is going to end up with the most overall yards with less receptions and less touchdowns. That's just how I see it, because if Jalen's smart, he's not going to go into here targeting one of them. The best quarterback spread the ball.
Right.
Carson Wentz.
Take what the defense gives you.
Yeah. Carson Wentz, that season, he was on the road for MVP. None of those guys
That
had
was a long time ago. Long time ago, man.
That wasn't that long ago. That wasn't that long ago. It's
That seems like
2017, my guy.
like
That
years,
wasn't that
10
long ago.
years
That's 5 years
man.
ago, my guy. We waited so
Ooh, man.
many.
He ain't been the same since, man. He ain't been the same. Since.
What? Whoa, JJ. I know
I know
you're not used to this being a
he had
Niners
good
guy.
stats
Listen,
last year.
being a
with the
Niners
Colts.
guy, I know you're not used to the Philadelphia winning streak, but we are a playoff team 4 out of the last 5 years. So, regardless on what battles we went through, what we had to do, we still made it to the dance.
Yeah.
Now, how far we made it in the dance, that's another story. But we still made it since the Super Bowl. 4 out of 5 years since the Super Bowl. 5 out of 6 years. That's nothing to be saying. Like, that's why I tell the Eagle fans to get so hyped. It's like, listen, we ain't never been paper champs ever. Ever. We've always been that grinder team that comes out here, and we do a little bit better than you expected us to do and make it a little bit farther than you expect us to make, right? But this year, even that 2017 year, that team was a good team, right? But that took the whole season to build that team. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had one person before the season. Week 2, we had another. Week 4, we had another. You know what I'm saying? Trading deadline, we had a couple more pieces till we had that piece. You know what I'm saying? Carson Wentz balled out of control that year. It took a progress to no fan even had Super Bowl in their mind till like after week 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when we started like, oh shit, look what we doing. Watch out. We about to do that damn thing. Hell yeah.
It sounds like week 1, y'all thinking Super Bowl or before the season.
Yeah, now it's like, I'm already saying it. We ain't even hit a game yet. We haven't even got our first preseason game. And I'm like, hey, the NFC is weaker than they were before.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of talent in NFC, period. Everybody's on the AFC bandwagon, you know what I'm saying? Which is cool with me.
Yeah.
But we made it to the playoffs last year. 9-7. First year coaches. None of these guys knew what the hell they were doing the first 8 weeks of football this year. None of them. The offensive coordinator sucked. The defensive coordinator sucked. You know what I'm saying? When you got a whole stadium telling you 3 games in a row, run the damn ball, and you still don't run the ball, that's ballsy for one. And for two, that obviously means that, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Because the pass don't open up the pass. The run opened up the pass. You know what I'm saying? You got to run the football to open up the pass. The pass don't open up the pass. And that's what they're saying. The pass opened up the pass. Like, even Dougie P ran himself out of our Philadelphia because he kept getting a little too pass happy. He thought, oh, his passing genius. I won a Super Bowl. You can't tell me nothing. I'm going to keep passing the ball the way I want to. And he ruined Carson Wentz's career. At the end of the day, our linemen are not built that way. Why do you think every year we had our top linemen out? Because we were passing the ball so much. They're doing all this backpedaling. And instead, you got these 6'8" and 6 linemen, 330 pounds backpedaling most of the game instead of going forward, which they are known to do. That's what they're meant to do. Our offensive line is one of the best in the league, is the best in the league. Pro Football Focus says, and I believe it too as well. And it's because we can dominate, dude. We don't want else have line that strong, that big, that physical, all the way across the board that can just dominate and oppose their will. Like, you got these guys backpedal, of course you're gonna get hurt. No, you don't get any 6'8", 340-pound man telling them just run backwards.
Lane Johnson gonna stay healthy this year, man, or what?
You gonna go after Lane? Is that who you went for? You went for Lane out of anybody? Are you talking about the guy that didn't give up 1 sack last year and only missed 2 games? Lane
Y'all gonna get more than 13 games out of him this year, or what, man?
We got more than 13 last year.
He played 13 last year.
Did he?
And the year before that, he played 7.
Hey, don't be capping my Lane. I didn't even know Lane only played 13 games last year. Was he out 4 games? Yeah. But see,
he was out 4.
that was some personal shit. For real. That was between him and Mrs. Lane. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Mrs. Johnson. So I don't you can't put that on Lane. You know what I'm saying? Like, any man would deal with situations like that the same kind of way. And still to do that and have that kind of, and then to come back and still not give up a sack the whole year. Hey, Lane is still that dude.
He's a beast when he's out there for sure.
Kelsey's still that dude. You know what I'm saying? Don't act like these guys aren't perennial Pro Bowlers.
Yeah.
All pro team type linemen. And then you got Jordan Mailata, the big young Australian over there, the big stud out there, the bloat, out there just locking down that left side. He ain't even learned football all the way yet.
Can you pull up that last comment you see talking about?
I'm so far in my comment. Let me go down though, because I got like 30 comments I haven't did.
He's talking about the big silverback Trent Williams. Man, Trent Williams, he played 15 games last year. So I mean, he's there.
Okay, he played one more game than Lane.
2 more.
You said Lane played 14, didn't you?
Lane played 13.
13.
And Trent played 15.
He missed 4 games.
But yeah, I mean, hey, injuries are a part of the game, but Trent, he played 15 for us last year. The year before that, he played 14, so. But, it is what it is. Guys get hurt.
Let's go with us. I don't like your energy you're bringing right now. You're bringing some energy like the Niners are just as good or better than the Eagles.
This year.
So now we're going to do it. You just started something now, Mr. J and the Bay. What's good? I'm about to tell you what's good. Let's go. Okay, we're going to break down these 2 teams and see who we think is the best to get the NFC Championship this year.
Sounds
good. Let's start with the quarterback. You got your first-year starter in Trey Lance. You got your second-year starter in Jalen Hurts. Who you got? I got Jay Hurts.
Yeah, I got Trey Lance, so it ain't even no question. I got.
But we all know that Jay Hurts is better than Trey Lance.
I mean, there's no doubt Jalen Hurts has more of a body of work out there. He's played 1 NFL season, so I can't really argue that. But I just know for me, I would rather have Trey Lance coming into his first season as a starter on this team. That's just me. But I know you're gonna go with Jalen Hurts. I know you're gonna go with Hurts. It's all good.
Okay, you got one. Okay, you're one, my one.
Yeah,
I think we got the quarterback. Everybody in the chat, y'all can let us know who do you think got a better quarterback, Trey Lance or Jalen Hurts. Go ahead and drop it in the chat for us. Hey, hit that like too, man. Shout out to 17 up in here. Hit that like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Subscribe to my boy Jane and Bay. His link is definitely inside the chat. So we're gonna go to running backs. Who's your star? You said Mitchell.
Yep, Elijah Mitchell. I mean, you got to put Debo there. I mean, he does play running back.
No,
you got to put Debo there.
You cannot put Debo at running back if he's going to be at receiver. So you can pick one or the other. You can say Debo's your receiver, or you can say Debo's your running back.
He's a wide back, baby. He's a wide back. He's unique. He's the only player that does that in the NFL. I know there's Cordarrelle Patterson with the Falcons.
Patterson balled out as a wide back last year.
He's a beast too, but he was sitting at home in the playoffs watching just like all the other teams. So I mean, Debo is unique. But okay, we can leave Debo out. If you want to do that, we can leave Debo out. We got Elijah Mitchell. We're bringing in TDP this year, hot shot rookie at LSU, a 3rd-round pick. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. Our first preseason game is tomorrow night, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing him. We got Trey Sermon. Hopefully, he can have a bounce back year. Jeff Wilson Jr., Jermichael Hasty. So I think we're pretty stout in the running game.
So Eagles is what you're saying. That's what I heard.
Well, who you got? You got Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders, Kenny Gainwell, that was a rookie with 6 touchdowns. We got Boston Scott, who's balled down. He's been balling out whenever he gets his opportunity. The giant killer up in the building.
How many yards did Miles Sanders have last year?
800 plus.
Let's see. Hold on. Let me look. So he had 754.
Total yards. Total yards.
Total? You want to go with receiving too? So he had 158 receiving. So it looks like Elijah Mitchell had more yards rushing than Miles Sanders had with rushing and receiving combined.
How many he had?
And Elijah Mitchell played one
Mitchell
less game. Huh?
How many did
Elijah Mitchell? I think he had 9. Let me double check, but I think it was like 972.
What did you say? 150 plus 7 what?
150 plus 754. I think that's less than 963.
No.
And he played
150 plus 100 is 850 plus 50. That's 9.
It's close, but
it's close. God damn it! It's close.
Mitchell had 963 rushing, 5
touchdowns. In a career.
Well, this is his first year last year.
Oh, was.
And then
so Miles Sanders better.
Right. And he also had 137 yards receiving. So Elijah Mitchell was the more productive back last year. Stats don't lie, baby. Stats don't lie.
Miles is hurt. Who's your second guy?
Second back. I mean, last year it was Debo, but you don't want Debo.
No, we're not counting Debo. So you just
I mean, it was really Elijah Mitchell. Trey Sermon didn't really get run. Obviously, we had Debo. TDP wasn't there last year. I mean, our best back was Elijah Mitchell and Debo Samuel. Those were our best backs last year.
And guess who our best backs were? Miles Sanders, Jalen freaking Hurts, Kenny Gainwell.
Hey, he's a quarterback, man. He ain't no running back.
Hey,
he's a quarterback.
Hey, he had how many yards rushing last year? 700.
Okay, I mean that's
700. 10 touchdowns rushing. If you want to try to add Debo, you might want to try to add Jay Hurts up in the building.
Yeah, he's a quarterback. Yeah, I mean that's no doubt. 784 yards, Jalen Hurts, 10 TDs. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so we're gonna give the edge to the Eagles because Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders better than Elijah Mitchell and whoever. Even better. What did Debo have rushing last year?
Debo, I think he had like 3 something.
Yeah, so those two are top 2 rushers.
He propelled
your top 2 rushers. We win.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, our top 2 rushers. If we're talking about just running backs, our top 2 rushers will win over the Eagles running back. They were more productive.
How many? Wait. You say your second running back was what? 300 yards. You think that's better than our second running back?
So let's see. Well, I mean, hey, Debo was all pro, baby. He was all pro receiver last year. 1,770 yards from scrimmage. Debo. I mean, that's only second behind Cooper Kupp, So I mean,
Debo's a stud, and we're not at receivers. Don't be talking that receiver talk to me.
Hey, Debo gonna be used for running backs and receivers because he was a wide back last year. So hey, we could move on to receivers. And
so we went split because I believe Hurts, you believe Lance. Running back, I'm not giving it to you guys because I don't even know who Elijah Mitchell really is like that. Hey. Everybody know Miles Sanders has the highest yards per touch of any running back.
But Mitchell had more yards last year. So you can give me the edge to running backs. And then receivers, we had an all-pro receiver last year in Debo.
AJ Brown.
He wasn't on your squad last year. We talking about last year, right? We were talking
about just players in general. The impact on the team. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins. We go deep at the receiver spot.
And you do. And, we have Jawan Jennings. He's a pretty good third receiver. He really came on strong in the second half. I don't mind. I give the Eagles a slight edge, but then it's kind of hard to do that.
The running back edge if you go ahead and give us a receiver edge.
Well, we had an all-pro, baby. Debo all-pro. Y'all didn't
have
the
best.
When was the last time y'all had an all-pro?
Wait. Let's ask this question.
Yeah.
Are you saying that Debo's better than AJ Brown?
Last year he was.
Overall,
I would say that AJ Brown has been more consistent because Debo did miss some time his second year. I think he only played maybe like 7 or 8 games his second year. So AJ Brown has been more consistent throughout his career, but there's no doubt Debo had the better year last year.
Debo was not even a last year.
It ain't even a question. He's gonna have a better year this year too. Than AJ Brown.
See, now you're going too far. I like letting you go, but I gotta reel you back in sometime. You're going a little too far. Okay.
Hey, I'll give you the edge on the offensive line because the Niners have.
Oh well, you can't give me that. Everybody knows that we got the best offensive line in the league.
I just give it to you, man. I'll let you have that one, man.
So you're going. So you're saying receiver too. Are you counting Debo as in like he's all your receivers?
Yeah, Debo, Ayuk, Jennings. I'll put Kittle in there. You could put Goddard in as a receiver.
Goddard, AJ, Smitty, and Quez is better than Ayuk, Kittle, Debo, and whoever else Jennings you're talking about.
I think overall, yeah, you guys probably have a slight edge. I think Debo is the best out of that entire group, but yeah, I could.
Debo's better than AJ right now.
I think Kittle's better than Goddard. That's for sure. No doubt about that.
Last year?
Let's see. Let's see what Goddard did last year. Let's see. So Goddard, let's see. So he had 56 catches, 830 yards, 4 touchdowns. And let's see what Kittle did. Let's see. Kittle had 71 catches, 910 yards, 6 touchdowns. So Kittle was, like 200 yards better, So
Goddard was second stream for 8 games.
okay, I mean, hey, that's part of the game, man. I mean, Ertz was a stout tight end for the Eagles. Years ago, not recently, but years ago, Ertz was a stout tight end.
You're right, boy. The Eagles way better at receiver. Thank you very much for clarifying that. For Jalen Bay,
like you said, I said overall, I give y'all the slight edge at the wide receiver, but there's no doubt, what Kittle had a better year than your tight end, even though, hey, it ain't our fault that he couldn't, beat out Ertz. That ain't our fault. And Debo had the better year last year.
Ertz was one of the best tight ends in the league, too. What are you talking about? Yeah, like Ertz isn't a man. No hate. It was Ertz, Kittle, and Kels.
Yeah.
As the best 3 receiver for years.
Yeah, so, you're right. Yep.
It's not like he had some slouch ahead of him.
Right, in front of him. Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. Okay. So we're there. We already said offensive line goes to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Defensive line goes to the Eagles.
Woo-wee. Defensive line, man. Now
goes to the Eagles.
I don't know about that. Eric Armstead. He was
really
a Pro Bowl caliber defensive tackle last year.
Pro Bowl caliber?
Is he better than?
Is he a Pro Bowler? Is he an All Pro? What is he?
He had a Pro Bowl
he can't be like Pro Bowl caliber guy. Because last I checked, everybody on our defensive line that starts is a Pro Bowler.
I would say
even our backup Pro Bowler.
Nick Bosa would start on the Eagles as an edge rusher, right? Are you gonna tell me that y'all 2 edge rushers?
Of course, Nick Bosa will start on anybody's team.
Okay.
So let's just throw it out there like Nick Bosa will start on the Eagles. He's a stud. Yes, that's 1. Now keep going.
The Niners
the other 3.
The Niners go 8 to 10 deep on our defense.
Okay, we can go as deep as you want to go, my
deep,
guy.
Baby. Hey,
I'm ready to go deep in that D line.
I'll make this a short argument. You guys got the edge on defensive line, but there's no question we got the edge at the linebacker. It ain't even up to question.
What?
We can skip the line. Yes.
What?
Fred Warner.
That's 1.
Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, Aziz.
Hassan Reddick.
In the NFL.
Kaiser White.
Who?
Hassan Reddick. Kaiser White. Multiple Pro Bowler. Multiple sack. Reddick. And Kaiser White with 154 tackles last year.
They ain't beating the Niners. They're not better than the Niners linebackers.
Kobe Dean, best linebacker coming out of college football.
No.
On one of the best defensive ever in college football.
No. Come on, man.
Wow.
Come on, man. Fred Warner.
That's 1.
Aziz Al-Shaair, Dre Greenlaw. You haven't heard of these 2 guys because there's Fred Warner there. Just kind of like with Nick Bosa on the defensive line. You haven't really heard of Javon Kinlaw. You haven't heard of the guys we go 7 to 10 deep. But
I heard of Nick. But I also know a lot of Nick.
Niners linebackers are much better, man. Come on, man. Niners linebackers are way better.
Do you have the best linebacker out of the bunch? Yes.
Yeah.
Warner's a beast. But the deepest? No.
I mean,
TJ Edwards balled out last year. Kaiser White balled out last year. Reddick balled out last year. Kobe Dean's the best college linebacker to ever come out. One of the best college defenses of ever. You got Davion Taylor, young stud coming up that just needs to stay healthy because every time he comes in, he makes plays. When he's out, obviously he's out.
Does Reddick? He has his hand in the dirt. He's not covering tight ends.
No.
He's not.
He can cover and he can pass rush.
Okay, well, Fred Warner doesn't pass rush. He's a linebacker. He covers wide receivers. He covers running backs. I mean, he goes up against the best tight end in the league every day. I mean, for me, it ain't even no question. The 49ers got the better linebacking core. It's no question. Way better.
He says, BG, stay out that Kool-Aid. Hey, I just keep it real, okay? You're not going to tell me that, what we got? A Pro Bowl linebacker, a really good starting linebacker,
Uh-huh.
and well, did Kaiser White go to Pro Bowl for AFC? I don't know. I don't think he did. Maybe, but I know he put up big numbers last year. And then a guy like N'Kobe Dean backing him up with Davion. Man, I will give you the draw
A draw? What?
at the linebacker spot.
No way. No, there's no way. No. Niners got the edge at the linebacker spot. There's no question.
Look at that. Exactly. Reddick, Kaiser White, TJ Edward, N'Kobe Dean. Those four are beasts.
Yeah, those sounds like Jags to me. Just another guy, man. Just another guy.
Okay, so you're going to go there. Let's go secondary.
Okay, secondary.
Hands down. Put your hands down right now and just bow to the champs. Our secondary. We have the best trio at cornerback in the league, period.
So Darius Slay.
You name a better trio than Darius Slay, Maddox,
James Bradbury.
And Bradbury.
Well, we got Emmanuel Mosley.
Who?
Emmanuel Mosley.
No,
he's a beast. He's coming into a contract. Yeah, you haven't heard of him. That's okay, but he's pretty good at the cornerback spot. Statistically, he's very good. Look him up on Pro Football Focus. He does very good in coverage. We added Charvarius Ward to our secondary this year. He is one of the best free agent corners out there. We picked him up. He's definitely elevated the secondary room. I like Charvarius Ward. I think he's better than Darius Slay. This ain't Detroit Lions Darius Slay. He ain't Detroit Lions Darius Slay.
Darius just came off his best season as a pro, and he's been a stud for years.
He has been
had his best year.
Okay. I'm putting my money on Charvarius Ward. So I think Charvarius Ward's going to have a better year than.
That's cap on Darius Slay, I feel like.
James Bradbury. Okay, yeah, he's solid.
Pro Bowler, James Bradbury. Pro Bowler, Darius Slay.
Okay.
Pro Bowler.
That's cool.
Anthony Harris, Pro Bowler.
So the safeties, Marcus Epps, Anthony Harris. Okay. And y'all got Jaquiski Tart, a former 49er. So
you know about him.
Yeah, there's a reason why he's not on the Niners no more. There's a reason why. Like, let's be real.
Wow, you were a Tart hater? You're a Tart hater?
I'm not hating on Tart. I'm just saying, we went in another direction. We drafted Talanoa Hufanga at the SC, and he's taking over.
I told CG last year, Hufanga's a beast. That fool, I'm a huge USC fan, so I know my USC Trojans. Yeah, I watched his games in Cali. Hufanga is that dude, and he was only going to get better the longer he stays in the league, man.
And Jimmy Ward, I think he's better than what y'all got at that free safety spot. That's for sure. Jimmy Ward.
Jimmy Ward is better than who?
Anybody you got at safety. He better than
Anthony Harris?
Anthony Harris.
Who led the NFL in interceptions?
Give me Jimmy Ward, baby. So he going to do that. You saying he going to do that again next year?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think he's going to ball out this year.
Okay. All right.
Because guess what? You're going to have to throw to the safeties because our corners are the best trio in the league.
So you're saying you got sticky corners out there. That's what you say. You got sticky corners.
Huh?
You got sticky corners. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. We got the best corners. Like, you name another threesome that's better than ours.
Oh, what we got in the Bay right now?
Hell no. Tavares Ward ain't done crap.
He's been with KC. He's played in big games. He
played in big games. Doesn't mean he was balling in big games. What are you talking about, man? Nicholas Slade was scoring touchdowns. He led corners and touchdowns last year.
Charvarius Ward is a beast, and then you put him behind.
He's not no big play Slade.
Going after the
I don't even know if Ward is Bradbury.
I didn't even mention Drake Jackson, our number one pick this year, the edge rusher from SC. You should know him. From SC, Drake Jackson. We got another edge rusher.
You go back to defensive line? You're trying to add in on there? That was already a loss. That was a watch. A while back, my guy.
I'm telling you, Charvarius Ward behind this massive D line that's going to get after.
He's not better than Darius Slay. You can't say that. And you can't say it confidently like that. I don't appreciate that.
Darius Slay has had the better career. Okay, but I'm banking
last year.
I'm banking that Charvarius Ward.
Last year he was better than Ward. What's his name? Javarius, whatever his name is.
Okay,
Kansas City. He was better than him.
Say that, but Jimmy Ward is better than whoever y'all got trying to play safety over there.
Okay, so you got one player better again. Here we go. Your one player better does not equal the rest of the 5 players on that field for secondary, my guy. So I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm saying Eagles secondary.
you know, I'll be
We got
lenient.
it.
I give you a draw on the secondary. I'll be lenient. I
A
give you a draw.
draw? What are we drawing? Eagles championships over here? Is that what we're drawing on the paper? Because ain't no draw in the secondary. We win hands down. Nobody in the league, for real, for real. You name another team that got 2 Pro Bowl cornerbacks and Devontae Maddox, if they had, who should have been in the Pro Bowl for slot the way he had his best career last year, his best season last year. He balled out. You know, like if you had all 3 of them together, that's
Mhm.
that's the best secondary in the league to me.
Oof, okay. I mean,
Who else?
I haven't seen it, so you know, we'll
Anthony
see.
Harris balled out the end of the season last year. Epps balled out the end of the season last year. Your boy Tart, he ain't no slouch. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Like he
is
was a
he
starter on
starting?
the Niners last year, wasn't he?
Is he starting on Philly?
He's second string right now.
Okay. Hey, I love Tart. I love what he did for the 49ers.
I know
But
you do.
hey,
That's why I don't understand how you hate my guy.
his
He
time has
was the
come to
heart
an
and
end.
soul of your Niners defense. Say it.
Well, I wouldn't say the heart and soul, but he played a part. You know, he played his role. You know, but hey, you guys have some. You guys are better in certain areas. We're better in other areas. I wish we could play again this year. So
I wish we did play
you
this
see
year. That would've been awesome.
firsthand. You said what?
I said I wish we did play this year.
I know, man. Maybe we'll meet in the NFC Championship
In the
game.
playoffs, baby. If you got to, I'm telling you right now, mark it down to your calendar. Eagles in the playoffs. Now, can you say that? I'm not sure if you can say that.
Oh, Niners are.
Whoa, CG, that's major cap.
Absolutely.
Back up. Okay, you're going a little too far there, my guy. You're going a little too far there. You can't say that he's better than 2 Pro Bowlers and a first round pick in Barnett, who helped us win our first Super Bowl. Now, I would give you Bosa's a beast.
Yeah.
But Brandon Graham is a beast. And he didn't play last year. And Josh Sweat's a Pro Bowler last year, his first year starting. So to say that he's better than all 3 of those players put together, no. I like Bosa.
Yeah.
I wish you guys would have traded us him.
I bet you do.
You know? Like I said, you guys got key players. Like you're like one of those. That's why I say the Eagles team is so dominating this year. Because there are a bunch of teams like the Niners where you could be like, okay, we have the best linebacker. You know what I'm saying? The best end. But then you got the rest of the squad with them. They're not the best. You know what I'm saying?
Depth. We have a lot of
depth. Our depth with Pro Bowlers. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go over our defensive line, Sweat's Pro Bowler, BG's a Pro Bowler, Fletcher a Pro Bowler, Javon Hargrave's a Pro Bowler. You know what I'm saying? Like that's Pro Bowlers across the line. Those are beasts across that line. And then you got backing them up, Milton Williams, second year player, Jordan Davis, biggest man ever to play defensive lineman, biggest, most athletic guy ever. Everybody wanted him in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Like beast out of the one of the best defenses ever. You know. I can compare to that.
We go deep on our defensive line as well. They're not Pro Bowlers, but they play their part and they are really, really stout. And there's a reason why we had 8 to 10 defensive linemen up on game day because we rotate our defensive linemen out. They all get pressure on the quarterback. Arden Key was a beast last year for the 49ers. He didn't do anything with the Las Vegas Raiders. He went and got paid this offseason. I mean, I can tell you the names on the Niners D line. It don't matter. You haven't heard of them. I don't expect, the Eagles fans to hear these names.
And that's why you can't say they're better because you know about the guys I said. And you like truly said 2017 BG's better than Joey Bosa.
Well, hey, that's cool because we ain't got Joey Bosa. So, we got Nicky Bosa.
That's true.
That's all good, but
who do you think is better than Bosa's brother? Don't be a homer either.
Oh, it's Nick Bosa, no doubt, man.
You think he's way better than his brother?
I wouldn't say way better. I would have to look.
Oh, he meant Nick Bosa. He said 2017 BG is better than Bosa.
What?
What was Bosa's stats last year?
What? Let's see. Let's see what's Bosa's stats last year.
Who cares about Joey Bosa? Right?
Let's see. So Nick Bosa, he played every game last year, and he had 15 and a half sacks. 32 QB hits, Pro Bowl. What did Brandon Graham do last year?
17. Go to 17, BG. He was hurt all last year. He was out last year. He didn't play last year.
He played 2 games last year.
Yeah, he was out.
Yeah, he made a huge impact last year. Oh yeah.
Go to 17, BG. That's what he said.
That's years ago, man. That's like saying
Go to 17, BG. Let's see
a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Let's see if what he said is true or not. Let's hear what he said.
2017 BG, he had hold on, let's see. He had 9.5 sacks. That's decent, you know. Hey, he ain't on Bosa's level, but he tried, you know. He tried. He's you know, BG has never had a double-digit sack season in his Philly career.
That's crazy.
I'll let you know that.
He's consistently.
I can't say nothing about Fletcher Cox. I know he's a beast, man. You know, he's been doing it decade long. He's a beast, one of the best defensive linemen, you know, in the NFL. So, you know, you could say Fletcher Cox.
There's some respect. There's some respect in our name. Let's go. I like it. Let's go, coaches. Offense coordinator, head coach.
I mean, come on. You can't even compare. It's Kyle Shanahan. Come on, man. Come on. Like, don't even try to argue that. You can't even argue that. Come on, man.
Defense coordinator.
Exactly. So we got what's his name? His name is escaping me right now. Don't know why. But he is a second-year defensive coordinator. He's a former linebacker. He's probably going to be up for a head coaching job next year because he had this defense last year, you know, a top 5 defense. It's probably going to be a top 3, maybe top 1 defense this year because we only got better. We only got better last year, especially with adding in Travarius Ward. So I think we'd have to look statistically what the Eagles did last year on defense, but I know the Niners
10th overall in defense.
10th overall. I think the Niners were above that, maybe top 5 in majority of the defensive categories. You're looking at passing yards allowed, rushing yards allowed, total yards allowed, points allowed, all that. We were basically in top 5 in a lot of those categories. So DeMeco
Ryans. He is a former Eagle, so you guys are welcome. Former Eagle.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are welcome. You guys got some Eagle royalty leading your troops over there.
So you know about him, man. You know about him. He was a hell of a player, and now he's a hell of a defensive coordinator. He's probably going to get a head coaching job next year because that's the one thing that Kyle Shanahan does. He's got a hell of a coaching tree. You know, Robert Saleh was our defensive coordinator a few years ago. Now he's the head coach of the New York Jets, and I think DeMeco Ryans will be a head coach next year. And also our former offensive quality control coach, Mike McDaniel, he's the head coach now with the Miami Dolphins. So Shanahan knows how to elevate his coaches, man. So, hey, you could give the coaching tree Shanahan versus your guy Sirianni or something. Man, it's Shanahan. No
wait. Eagles' real coaching tree stems off of Andy Reid. And even if you look at Nick, he's part of that same little trio.
So you take Sirianni over
Shanahan versus the Reeds, and Reeds got you guys stumped.
You can't do that.
What are you talking about? Reeds won a bowl.
Sirianni, but you can't be
like 3 championship coaches out of Reed.
Yeah, but you can't compare Sirianni against Shanahan. Come on, man. He's in his second year. Shanahan has been with
us. He's taking the same approach.
5th year.
Shanahan's not his daddy. Okay. Huh? Last I checked, Shanahan won nothing.
Okay, I can't argue that, but he has been to the playoffs, 2 NFC. Actually, wait. If we're talking about, let's just talk about him as a head coach because we know what he did in Atlanta. You know, elevating Matt Ryan to be an MVP caliber player, and Matt Ryan ain't been the same since Shanahan left. But we ain't talking about that. Let's just talk about Shanahan as a 49ers head coach. Hey, 2 out of 4 years.
Matt Ryan?
2 out of 4 years when his quarterback didn't have a hangnail. We was in the NFC Championship game and then in the Super Bowl. So Sirianni ain't got nothing on that.
His first year as a head coach, he's in the first round.
Okay. And did y'all get stomped by Tampa Bay?
Did Shanahan go to the playoffs his first year?
They beat the brakes off them good old Eagles.
What?
I think they did.
I think so. You want to say that?
Our memory serves me correct.
What was y'all score?
I mean, we barely lost to the Rams. Matt Stafford threw us a duck, and man Jaquiski dropped the ball. That's what happened.
Wait, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Your man. Oh, all of a sudden he's our man. He's our man. Your
hey,
man.
he wearing
Y'all got
that
some
Philly green now.
animosity built up against Tart over there. We're dropping that pass. I see y'all haters over there. Y'all hating. Y'all hating on the Tart, man. That's why I hope Tart just balls out this year. And we
Hey,
play the
I hope
Niners
Tart does
in
well.
the NFC East Championship. How far? What? Give me your early season prediction for the Niners record.
I got the Niners going. I think if a lot of things go right, I could see 12-5. If Trey struggles or if the defense isn't as good as it should be this year, then maybe I'll say like 10-7. But I think
so you're saying the floor's 10 wins,
right.
The ceiling's 12 wins.
Because we got a hard schedule. We got to play the AFC West this year, and yeah, they got some pretty good teams over there, pretty good quarterbacks. So yeah, we're gonna have our hands full. And the NFC West is still pretty good. I mean, look at the quarterbacks in our division. Look at the team. So it's going to be an uphill battle. That's for sure.
Yeah, I got the Eagles floor being 10 wins.
Mhm.
Ceiling's undefeated, but if we're gonna be realistic about the situation, we have a very easy schedule, not like you guys. We have it should be a pretty smooth road to the playoffs. I'll say that.
That'll be interesting. Who's going to have more wins, the Eagles or the Niners?
The Eagles.
I mean, yeah, because y'all play the NFC East.
My realistic ceiling is 13-4. Like I feel like I have to pull nails and pull teeth and think of some kind of upset formula to get to 4 losses. But every team that we play this year, we can beat. Like we can beat them. Like we got a better roster. We should beat them. Yeah. Now it's going to depend if the coach is put in a position to beat them or not. You know, like we should win every game. Like that's how confident. That's how much talent we have on this roster. We should win every game. But realistically, we're going to lose like 4, possibly 5. But I know we won 9 with a lesser team. You know, and our coaches were in their first year learning how to coach. And now you have a year under your belt, and we have more talent on the roster. So I look at 10 being the floor, and even if we only won 10 games, that'd be a bad season.
Y'all would probably still win the division if you only won 10 games. But
I think the Cowgirls can pull out 10.
Going from 9 to 13 games, that's a huge jump.
Yeah, but the roster, you know, we didn't just add one piece. We added multiple pieces. AJ Brown, you know, Kaiser White, Reddick, you know, Dean and Jordan in the freaking draft. You know what I'm saying? Like we've added some impact players. Bradbury, you know, even your boy Tart. Even though y'all hate him because he dropped the pass, but what about the rest of the season, my guy? He plays some good football for you guys. You know, like I just see it. Then plus, you look at the whole NFC, the NFC in general is weaker, and you guys got a way harder schedule than we got, you know, to get those W's. You know, your division alone is hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you guys got to worry about trying to sweep the Rams or sweep the freaking Arizona Cardinals. You know, you guys might sweep, depending on, I don't know. I don't even know if you guys can sweep the Seahawks.
We'll sweep the Seahawks. Yeah, we'll sweep.
I don't know about that. They got a nice running back. They picked up. Didn't they pick up? What's the boy name? What's his name? In draft,
they drafted him. I forgot his name. I know who you're talking about though. In the second round, they drafted. They got a really, really good running back, but they ain't got nobody.
Walker, right?
What's his name?
Was it Walker?
Yeah. Out of Michigan State.
That dude's a monster.
Yeah. Well, hey, we'll stack the box because we ain't worried about Geno Smith and Drew Lock.
Geno Smith. That's what the quarterbacks where they're really struggling. They just re-signed. What if
we'll be battle tested?
What if Jimmy G just decides to go to Seattle? He got the pieces.
That's fine.
He got all the pieces he need to win.
We ain't worried about Jimmy G. We know Jimmy G.
Would you be scared of Seattle if they got Jimmy G? Who's been in the organization, who knows all your plays?
I'd be like Birdman, rubbing my hands. Let's go, Jimmy. Let's go. We already know what you good at, what you weak at. So yeah, it ain't no.
Hey, CG, that's
I know the Bird gang, the Fly Eagles Fly. I know y'all scared of Carson Wentz coming in there.
What?
Washington Red. That's what I know y'all scared.
What? You and CG are capping tonight. CG talking about the Commanders winning the division. That's cap.
Carson Wentz
talking about we're scared of Carson who?
Mm-hmm.
That dude's a joke. His career is done. He's over. The dude can't win. He can't handle.
Washington is not a slouch. Now, Washington got a defensive line that rivals the Eagles. So you can, I mean, there's no argument there. They can get after the quarterback. Washington can.
So, what's bro's honest opinion about Jalen Hurts?
I mean, I think he's solid. I don't think he's elite. I don't think he is a top.
Do you think he can be elite this year? Because listen, before you answer this question, let me tell you something. A key note that people are really sleeping on this offseason, they don't even understand. Not only did I say he's the first quarterback in NFL history, the millions of quarterbacks that's been through the league, to have 4,000 yards passing and 1,000 yards rushing as a quarterback. First, number one. Okay? But let's look at this. Every year from high school, he's developed as a quarterback, true freshman in Alabama, all the way up to Heisman's trophy winning semifinalist to Joe Burrow at OU there, right? Taking Carson Wentz's job in Philadelphia, right? The man's a leader, and he's never had the same offense ever.
I don't think
this is the first time ever he's having the same offensive coordinator, same offensive scheme ever. And if you've ever played quarterback, or you know anybody that's ever played quarterback, that is a huge deal.
I don't think he took over Carson Wentz. I think
he took it over.
Y'all threw Carson Wentz out there, like a rag doll. Y'all build a statue at a backup quarterback. That's so disrespectful to Carson Wentz, man.
What?
He's gonna come back with a vengeance against y'all.
What? He's soft. He's charming soft. He's
so
not doing nothing.
For the Carson
You'll
Wentz.
come to Philly and get booed out. All it's going to take is a stadium of Philly to boo Carson Wentz, and his game's going to go straight down the tube. He's not a mentally strong player, man. I'm telling you, these guys
you
from North Dakota, that's what I'm telling you.
He had an MVP type year.
I didn't want to say this in the burst your bubble earlier about the whole Trey Lance thing, but I think he's a bust.
Wow.
I don't think Trey's doing nothing this year.
1.5 games? You say
1.5 games? He only went in 1 game last year, 2 games last year. Didn't he start a year?
Basically 2 games. He started against Arizona, and then he went into he started against Houston as well. So it was
but he played in games that Jimmy played.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I remember when he came in.
He started against Arizona.
Jimmy was playing
against Houston.
So you're saying he only played 2 games last year?
Yes. He came into the first game of the season, but he didn't play significant snaps. He basically played in 2 games last year.
I told you it was like Jalen Hurts. They threw him in for a couple plays a game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know. It is not because I just feel like you can't be a small time star and think you're going to come to the big leagues and step up.
We've seen Kyle Shanahan
from North Dakota at least.
Well, we've seen Kyle Shanahan work wonders with Matt Ryan. He elevated him to be an MVP.
Matt Ryan's always been good.
Okay, but Kyle Shanahan elevated his level of play. Matt Ryan hasn't been the same.
But even after Matt Ryan, Shanahan left Matt Ryan, he still was good.
He never was MVP. They ain't been to the Super Bowl. I think they've been to the playoffs maybe once.
Not a quarterback thing. That's a team thing.
Okay, that's a team thing. Well, we know that Shanahan elevated RG3. RG3 was rookie of the year.
Hey, then what happened?
Hey, that ain't Kyle Shanahan's fault. Hey, he didn't tell RG3 to go out there on that bum knee. Hey, that ain't got nothing to do with Shanahan. What I'm saying is we've seen Shanahan elevate quarterbacks. And I think he can do the same with Trey Lance because Trey Lance is not going to be throwing the ball 40 to 50 times. He's going to rely on this elite defense, this pretty good to elite running game. And we have weapons galore. The Eagles got weapons. The Niners got weapons. It's going to be beautiful to see week 1 in Chi-Town. I can't wait for week 1, but we are confident. I have no reservations about Trey. I know he's going to continue to get better. He's going to build from week to week to week to week. And to say he's a bust, I mean, that's just so disrespectful. How you going to say that? You only played 2 games. You only played 2 games, man. How you going to say that?
Because I already know what the North Dakota quarterbacks are like. Okay? Carson Wentz.
Why are you throwing shade to your boy Carson Wentz, man? When y'all gonna build a statue in front of that Philly stadium?
Anybody that can play in Philadelphia and walk out the door without even saying bye. He didn't even say bye to nobody. He's like late,
Well, because
And he
y'all
waited weeks
threw him
until
under
he
the
did the coach
bus.
like, I left in Philadelphia, blah blah blah. Shut up,
Y'all,
Carson. You're a dick.
y'all threw
Who leaves your
Carson Wentz
football team?
under
We
the
were
bus.
supporting you,
You
man.
built a shrine of the backup quarterback. So disrespectful. I don't know how you do that to an MVP caliber quarterback that you said, in
1 year
2017.
MVP caliber. He let the shrine of Nick Foles and the drafting of Jalen Hurts just derail his whole career.
I mean, you don't draft if Carson Wentz is your guy, which we know he wasn't. You don't draft a quarterback, on day one
Yeah,
of the
you
draft.
do.
You don't do that.
Yeah, you do. Listen,
How'd that work out
listen,
for
wait,
the
wait, wait,
Packers
wait,
and
wait,
Aaron
wait, wait.
Rodgers?
See,
How'd that
that's
work out for
why
the
I hate the
Packers?
fans of football. They don't understand. We had to do that. That was not a disrespect slide. You know why it wasn't disrespect? Because right before we picked him, guess what we did? We gave Carson Wentz $30 million a year. I mean, we called you our franchise quarterback. We paid you like a franchise quarterback. Now, if we're gonna give you that kind of a bag, we can't keep paying backup quarterback. Remember, what were the quarterbacks we had? We had what's that dude's name from Kansas City? That came over. Damn. But all our backup quarterbacks was like $15 million a year. You know,
Mm.
15, 20 million. And at that time, if you're gonna pay that much to Carson, you couldn't keep paying 15 to the backup. We had Nick Foles. We couldn't go pay Foles $20 million to be our
You could
backup
have got you
quarterback.
a Ryan Fitzpatrick, man. Just get you a Ryan Fitzpatrick. He'll sign a 1-year
Or
deal.
you go draft the
He's not
guy
gonna
that was
threaten
taken in the
Carson Wentz.
Heisman in the second round, Jalen Hurts, and you pay $4 million a year, $5 million a year.
I
That
guarantee
was
you
a
this:
business
we not
decision
we
from
not
the
drafting a
Philadelphia Eagles.
quarterback in the second round next year on the Niner Empire. That ain't gonna happen.
What'd you say? You're going to draft the quarterback in the second round next year?
I said we will not draft a quarterback in the second round next year on the Niner Empire. That's not gonna happen because we believe in our quarterback. That ain't gonna happen.
Well, I'm just saying I'm not that high on Lance.
And
I'm not saying he can't ball out. I'm interested to see what he does this year.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, because I have a sour taste for the North Dakota quarterback.
Mhm.
And to be that disrespectful, all the love the Eagle fans gave Carson Wentz, you know what I'm saying? All the love, the support when he was sucking, throwing an interception, throwing it into the ground, just not playing good at all. We still had his back, and you see what happened when Zach Ertz left, right? He
Yeah.
gave that love. He showed that he had the speech and everything for us. He was like, "Yes,
Yeah,
man, I
Ertz
love
wasn't
Philly."
disrespected by the franchise.
Basically was we drafted Dallas Goddard. When we drafted him, it was the same situation.
Yeah, but the
We
tight. Come
drafted
on, man.
Goddard because Goddard was an elite
Football
tight
bird
end
gang.
coming out of college. And
Football
we knew
bird
that
gang.
Ertz
You run them 2 tight end sets. You gotta have 2 good tight ends. I mean, football bird gang. You know it. You can use 2 tight end sets.
Yeah, we had what's his name, Rogers, for the last 3 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like Richard Rogers, he does his thing too as a backup tight end.
Yes,
No,
sir.
Ertz
Alameda,
knew
Morgan.
when we drafted Goddard that his time was coming up. He knew it. Goddard was not just you can draft certain people, but oh, that's a good guy. He's gonna be a great backup. You know what I'm saying? Or you're gonna draft the guy that whoa, his talent should oversee the starter and be the starter. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what we did there. And I think he even knew, but he was at least classy enough to come out and thank the fans and love on the fans before he left. Carson didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
He did shit. He just left. And everybody's sitting there Carson, you gonna say something? No. What was it? It took to the football season to start before he came out and said anything about the Eagles. That's disrespectful. That's rude. I don't like Carson Wentz for that. I understand without Carson, we don't win a Super Bowl. We don't.
Yeah.
He had an MVP type season until he got hurt. But at the end of the day, our team was just good enough. Super Bowls are team wins. And about your talent on your whole roster, not just your one position. And that's why I really feel like the Eagles will be in the chip this year. Because our roster as a whole would have to take dramatic impact of losses before you can say that they're a bad football team this year. We have the depth. With Miles, everybody gave Miles Sanders all that driven jive about, all Miles said was when we were at practice, we're all practicing together and we feel like we're practicing on an all-star team. He didn't say, I think we're an all-star team. He said, we're us as a team think that we feel like we're all-star team when practice, but you can't freaking deny the guy. Look around him, all Pro Bowlers, left on the right, behind you. Like, how can you not feel like you're on an all-star team? You know, because you got a bunch of all-stars around you everywhere. You know, the depth on this team is crazy. Like I said, I would say we're the best team in the NFL. Like, if you really want to go, like, on paper, I'll say that part. On paper, we're the best team in the NFL. You know, we got to put it out there. The coaches need to make sure they learn their lessons from last year. But on paper, who else is deeper than us?
We are the Niners.
You're not deeper than us. What are you talking about?
Deeper.
We got two quarterbacks. You guys about to get rid of your second quarterback.
Running backs, receivers.
What are you talking about?
Secondary. Hey, but it don't matter. There's no such thing as paper champions, man. You gotta get on the gridiron, do what you do best, and I think the Niners gonna do that. Hey, to answer Morgan's question, appreciate the kind words. Appreciate you subscribing to my channel, man. I like Oakland. I like the city. Alameda is very nice. Small town right outside of Oakland. But yeah, I would say those.
Where are you
Oakland
at?
In the city. I'm in Concord.
Huh?
Concord. It's a small city.
I know what Concord is. I'm from Cali.
Okay.
I'm from Cali. I've been in the Bay Area.
Okay.
You know, I watched the Eagles-Niners game, you know, at Campbell Field. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from the West Coast.
Okay. Sacramento's nice too. Sacramento's nice.
Yeah, Sacktown. You know, I love that. Really, I said if I were to move back to California, it'd be Northern California. I'm about to be in Redding in not September, October. I got a buddy who's getting married down there. I'm being in Redding. I'm being in Northern Cal for a little bit, you know, for like a week or two. So yeah, man, it's crazy, man. Like, I will say this, man. Your team, definitely got the talent to do something. I want to see Kittle's produce better, because I feel like last year was like a down year for him a little bit. It wasn't his normal Kittle's type season, I feel like. You know, I think he was hurt a little bit last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he wasn't playing up to form. And I like Kittles, so I do think I want to see Goddard, Kittles, and Kels be the new top three. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think Darren Waller's pretty good out there with the Raiders.
Waller's a beast too. And Andrew's a beast too. Andrew's a beast too. We can't forget those two guys. Yeah. But I do think I think Goddard can be better than Andrews.
You think Goddard can sneak up in that top three?
Because you already hear his name talked about, right? And he's never even been a starter.
Yeah.
That's why. You know, now he's got to start. So now it's like, here's your window to make that ground up. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't worry about our backup tight ends. You make sure that you're on this field enough to solidify yourself as a top tight end this year. That's what I want to see from Goddard.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to worry about, you know, Goddard, you know, Grant Cockatera's made some plays, and Jack Stahl and Rich Rogers. This is excuse me. This is the year Goddard got to solidify that spot. And if not, because, like, how many more years are going to go? Like, we're in year 4, 5 with Goddard. So, like, how many years you want to be not the guy before you actually think you're going to become the guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had a reason before with Zach Ertz in front of you. You know, Zach Ertz was the guy. You know, everybody knew in the NFL Zach Ertz was a top, 3, top 5 tight end in the league, you know? And now he's gone. So, it's your opportunity to hit that spot, and everybody expects you to be way better than Zach. You pass, you run block better, you're faster than them, you're bigger than them. You know what I'm saying? This is your time to be. If Zach can do it, you can do it type of situation for Goddard this year, and I want to see it happen. And the sky's the limit. We got a lot of players, man, that just like, they're all in that prove it mode, you know? That prove it mode. Jalen Hurts trying to prove himself. You know, hey, I am an elite quarterback in this league. You know, you got Miles Sanders, never got the ball enough, and now all of a sudden he's getting the ball. So now he's trying to prove that he's an elite back. Goddard trying to prove it. Devontae want to prove that AJ's not better than him. You know what I'm saying? Like, Devontae don't like the fact that AJ's here now. All of a sudden, like, hey, nigga, like, I'm the best. And like all of a sudden, AJ's like, yeah, you know, you 1A, you 1B. You know, we're the same. No, Devontae's like, I'm gonna show you this year that I'm still the number one guy on this team. You know, and we got 2 guys doing that, iron sharper iron. That's gonna put up big numbers. You know, that offensive line got to continue to prove that we're the best offensive line in the league. You know, even with some of the old cats like a Kelsey and a Lane Johnson, the other guys are young. You know, Sprout. ready to rock.
Kelsey's playing this year?
Yeah, it's last year.
Okay, it's last year. Okay. All right.
I think so. I don't see him going another year after this. But
Yeah.
even last year, what he went to the Pro Bowl, or he's what do you call him, All Pro
Pro Bowl. Oh,
last
he's
year.
all pro. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like we got some guys that Fletcher Costa. Everybody think his career is over. He's gonna get beat up by Jordan Davis, but he still has a year to put that to rest. Like, okay, my last year with Philly, I was still the best, number one. There's a lot of prove it. You got the Kaiser Whites, the Reddicks coming back home. They've been playing football out of state, not being able to have their family at games to support them the way they want to be supported. You know what I'm saying? Like that, little things like that matter. The coming home, having your boys at the game, all that kind of stuff matter. It can happen in a good or bad way. You can try to show out too much where you suck, or that support can really galvanize you to get to that next level. Jordan Davis' mom's a huge Eagles fan. That's a huge thing. When you got Mama Bear, you're always trying to prove to Mama Bear that you are, that Cub. And I think her being an Eagles fan even intensifies him being a better Eagle. Jordan Dean, N'Kobe Dean. Everybody had as a first round linebacker. Everybody's mock draft. N'Kobe Dean was going first round. To slip all the way to a third round, the disrespect that all 31 other teams put on your name, to even the Eagles, to go to the third round and then we pick him up, he's coming hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like Slade, Bradbury, come on. These guys are all got something to prove this year. And I think it's the perfect formula, the perfect storm for a championship team. So we definitely going to see how it plays out, in the East. Give me your top 5 teams in the NFC before we get out of here.
Teams in the NFC. Let's see. I mean, you got to put the Rams up there. They won the Super Bowl last year. You got to put them up there. Got to put the Niners up there. I mean, I feel like our question mark, is Trey Lance, and I would say the interior of our offensive line. But we got a leader, great head coach in Kyle Shanahan, who's had success when our starting quarterback is healthy. And I think Trey Lance will be healthy majority of the season. So I would put the Niners in the top 5. Let's see. NFC North, I mean, the Packers, they lost Devontae Adams.
They lost Devontae, and people are really tripping, thinking that that's not that big of a deal. That's a huge deal.
Yeah, I mean, he's been all pro receiver. Last decade? Like he's one of the best wide receivers. So I think that could be a huge deal. Maybe Minnesota overtakes them, but it's still Aaron Rodgers. So I think
A-Rod is a huge deal.
He's a beast. So it'll be interesting to see how that season plays out. NFC South, I mean, TB12, Tampa Bay, even though they did lose their center. I mean, who else is in NFC South? I mean, I don't really believe in Atlanta, Carolina. No. There's Tampa Bay and the Saints. I mean, they got Jameis Winston. I would give the Buccaneers an edge in that division. I would say the Buccaneers. And then my final spot, we go to that NFC least. I mean, the Cowboys, they pretty damn good. I mean, they got Dak Prescott.
What?
You know what I'm saying? He got that star on his helmet, man. He representing them Cowboys. That's supposedly America's team, man.
We're sorry, the person kind of unavailable.
They got a pretty good defense. They got running backs. They got Zeke the Freak. I mean, he's still all right. He ain't elite.
Really?
He ain't as good as Elijah Mitchell, but he all right. Then you got Washington, man. They defense is legit. They got Chase Young going after the quarterback, man.
Chase Young ain't been good since they drafted him.
They got that receiver. His name is escaping me. Scary Terry. I know you heard of Scary Terry. I mean, he a beast out there.
Yeah, the third best receiver in our division, or second best receiver in our division.
The Giants, I mean, they still got Saquon.
Oh, no, you're not even going to say anything.
Recovering from that torn ACL.
Wow.
Saquon Barkley, he's still pretty good, man. I know their quarterback is garbage, but I mean, hey, they still got Saquon.
Facts,
then this team in Philly, they got an all right quarterback. Jalen Hurts, he all right. He ain't top 10. He, at least not yet. I ain't saying he can't be top 10, but he all right. And then the Eagles, they got a pretty good team over there, offense, defense, O-line. I wish we could play the Eagles so we could finally put this to rest. You know,
You guys do your
I mean,
part. We gonna do ours.
we did beat y'all last year with Jimmy G. You know what I'm saying?
My
So
luck.
we
And
think
we
we're
didn't
gonna be
even know how
better
to run
this
the
year
football at
with
that
Trey
time.
Lance. So I go ahead. I'll put y'all Eagles in top. I'll put y'all at number 5 in the NFC.
There you go. I like it. At least we're in the number 5 spot. I'm gonna say Eagles definitely in there. Tampa Bay, Rams, and then you guys. I guess you guys are in there too. The Niners, and then I'll say the Rams. I mean, I already said the Rams. So who else will be in there?
I mean, the Packers, maybe. You know, they still got
I don't
Aaron
think they're
Rodgers.
going to be that good this year for some reason. I just don't.
Do you
I
think
think
Minnesota
I
win that
think
division?
Aaron took the money over the wins,
Mm.
and he took the money, and that's a smart man for him because he's at the end of his career, and he won Super Bowls, he won MVPs. No one's really won MVPs like Aaron Rodgers, so it's
So
just
you're
like
saying the Vikings gonna win the NFC North? That's what
the
you're saying.
Vikings, yeah.
Okay.
So that'd be the 5. That'd be the 5, man.
Okay.
So hey, shout out to you, Jalen Bay. Thanks for stopping by. We are here at an hour 45 in here. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe to BGN Sports Media, Bird Game 31, and my boy Jaden Bay, man. We put out fire content, all sources do. And we're definitely gonna have to talk some more this season. Maybe around week 6 or 7, where I can.
We talk about
So
our
when
team.
when the Eagles are 7-0 and the Niners are sitting there at 4-3, we can be able to talk about it a little bit. We'll be able to talk about it a little bit.
Oh, that's funny. You funny, man. You real funny. I think it might be the other way around. You know, we'll be 7-0. Y'all gonna be 3-4. Y'all not gonna be 4. Y'all be 3-4. So
Because it is her season, baby. Jalen freaking hurt. Hey, it's gonna be awesome, man. Hey, shout out to all you guys for rocking with us tonight. Even if you're watching this on a replay, shout out to you too as well. Much love, and yeah, we're gonna see who ends up with the best team. I say the Eagles end up top 3 in the NFC East. I really think we could win that number 1 playoff spot for real, for real. I think we sweep the division, and I think who we played this year. We played at NFC South, I think it is. The South. We own the Saints. Tampa Bay is not going to beat us this time around, I don't think. And who else in that division? Atlanta's garbage.
Carolina. So
They
y'all
garbage.
got some easy wins, man. Y'all lucky. Y'all got a good schedule.
Yeah, we got one of the easiest schedules in the NFL, man.
Yeah.
For real. Like, and that's one thing that's kind of hard. I hope the Eagles don't start looking at that thinking, oh, this is gonna be an easy ride, because even some of these, lesser teams, they definitely upgraded this offseason. The Giants, they upgraded this offseason. They probably had the second best draft this year behind the Jets. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look like Atlanta, they might have lost him, but they picked up Mariota, and they also got my favorite receiver in the draft, Drake London. Like, London's gonna be a beast. People don't give him respect. Like, he's a straight dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm a huge USC fan. He's a dog. And you're pairing him up with Kyle Pitts, who lit up the league last year at the end of his rookie year. I knew us playing him week 1, we wouldn't have to worry about him lighting us up in his first pro game. And he didn't.
You don't like that secondary up. Oh, yeah.
But that second, that second half of the season, that was something totally different.
I'm seeing double-digit catches, over 100 yards, maybe 2 TDs. I think Drake got that in him. He got that in him.
Yeah, like, look at that. He said the Lions look good, dangerous. Yeah, they're going to be good this year.
Yeah,
I think the Lions are going to be a lot better than last year. That's for sure. And I do believe that the Eagles, we went there and mollywopped them last year, and we got them game 1. I don't think it's going to be the same. No, I don't think it'll be the same mollywop. But I do believe
no game is easy. On once they hit the field, obviously, they get paid too, right? They get paid too.
Like, I think they're gonna be competitive in that game.
Absolutely.
Like, we could win by 7-10 points,
right?
But it ain't gonna be like no 40-point blowout,
like gonna be easy
destroying them. So we're gonna see how it is, man. It's gonna be awesome. Both of us got winning football teams. That's what it matters at the end of the day. And I'm excited to see what you guys do. I hope Trey Lance can prove me wrong, because I'm just not a huge fan of his. I think you guys should just go ahead and keep Jimmy and keep rocking with him. You know what I'm saying? Just keep rocking with Jimmy. You're paying him the money. If you don't get rid of him, you're paying him money already. And one more year is not going to hurt a player. To sit out 2 years,
Absolutely, it's
go
gonna
holler at
hurt.
Aaron
It's gonna hurt the
Rodgers.
Niner Empire. We know what
Hey.
Jimmy G can do and what he can't do.
Go holler at Aaron Rodgers, who sat the bench for like 3 years.
Come on, man. You
And then
comparing
came
Aaron
in.
Rodgers to Jimmy
Now
G?
Aaron Rodgers is the best, the best quarterback of all time, almost.
Hey, there's no Jimmy G is not Brett Favre. I think we know that. That's pretty clear. Jimmy G,
His
no,
winning,
gonna be
his winning
with Brett
record
Favre, no
might
time,
be better than Brett's record. Remember, Brett was a gunslinger that throw a lot of interceptions too. You know what I'm saying? Like Brett did win Super Bowls, but at the same time, Brett wasn't the most polished quarterback.
Come on, man. Brett Favre is a Hall of Famer. Jimmy G, that's not in his future. Hey, he's a made man.
He's a winner.
Generational wealth. Okay, yeah. So yeah, he's got a great record, but he ain't Brett Favre.
At the end of the day, that's what this league's about: wins and losses, and that's why everybody keep paying Jimmy G because he don't lose.
I can't argue with that, but I know what he can't do, and he can no longer elevate this offense. And I think Trey Lance will be able to do that based on his skill set. And Jimmy G, I can't take nothing from him. Hey, when he was healthy, we were in contention. We were a relevant football team. And when he was hurt, hey, we were watching the playoffs at home, just like the rest of the NFC East. But we're excited with Trey.
At least we had 2 teams that went too, man. So don't be calling us NFC East no more. There was 7 teams in the playoffs.
And y'all might be able to win that division with 8 games this year. Y'all might be able to do
what?
8. Maybe with 8.
We couldn't even win the division last year with 9. The Cowboys, they had like 12 wins last year.
I told you, man. Dak Prescott, man. Hey, some people saying Dak is better than Jalen Hurts, man. Hey, man.
He is better than Hurts right this second, like in his career. But if you want to go first 20 games, he's not better than Hurts. You know, you're saying like overall in his career because he played longer than Hurts. Yeah, he's a good passer, man.
Yeah,
you know he's developed, but I think the departure of Amari Cooper is going to change all that. I'm not the biggest CeeDee Lamb fan. You know why? Because when Cooper was there, right, it was either Cooper was the man or Gallup was really the man.
Right.
CeeDee Lamb was the man last year, but Cooper, Gallup, and Gallup's your third receiver. You know, kind of that whole Quez Watkins effect I'm talking about.
And Gallup is coming back from the torn ACL, right?
Yeah, but that's like gonna be halfway through the season. Like he's not even starting the season off. You know what I'm saying? Like that's another huge change. So now you're missing your 2 of your top 3 receivers last year. Yeah. You're trying to work the same magic. You know, I don't see that happening. Plus, you're thrusting Lamb into not only you thrust him into the number 1 spot, but now him being in that number 1 spot, he's gonna get double and maybe even triple because there's no other receivers. So I don't see him putting in those numbers that the Cowboy fans out there believe. Oh, Lamb's there finally. He's always been our number 1. Yeah, you might have felt like it because they always had Coop. And that number 1, no matter what, whether his stats are high or low, that number 1 receiver takes the most respect, takes the most pressure off of everybody else. You know what I'm saying? To have Coop even on the field, he was one of the best route runners in the league. He was on there. He was on notice, to help Lamb get open a little bit. But like I said, Gallup was the main guy over the last year or two, and Lamb, he did his thing last year. I ain't gonna hate on him, but I just don't feel like he's gonna thrust into that number 1 spot and be a superstar. I think that's gonna be something he's gonna have to work through.
I agree. It's gonna be interesting, season. I can't wait for it to start. Regular season can't come any sooner. The Niners play tomorrow night, first preseason game against the Green Bay Packers. So definitely.
Ooh! Yeah, give me a score prediction, even though it's preseason. Are you guys even playing starters?
So Trey Lance will start, but Aaron Rodgers won't be starting, so he won't even be playing. So but I take the Niners. I still think we beat the brakes off them. 31-7. I'll take that.
I like it. I like the 31 part. Hey, much love to all you guys, man. Shout out to my boy Jay in the Bay. We definitely gonna get some more work done, and have a great night. Like I said at the end of my videos, fly, Eagles, fly. And we out. Jay in the Bay, BG31. Peace.
Peace out.